Google buys Fitbit for $2.1 billion. Couple of bucks. What do you think?
Wow.
Is that a good deal or what?
I guess for Fitbit, yeah.
We don't know.
Good change. Yeah,
The fitness tracking company joins Google kind of like how Nest joined Google. They were acquired. I don't remember what the dollar figure was there. Probably in a similar territory. It will still operate as Fitbit within Google. Google apparently will utilize this acquisition to further its Wear OS and its wearables in general. We talked about this on the last episode as well. This is an update because it was just speculation. There was an offer. There was talk that an acquisition was imminent. I'm Picard. I don't know. He's Data. He's Data. Is that what his name? Data? Yeah. He's Data, man. That's the only two guys I know.
Captain Kirk.
Oh,
That's
that's
another
rude.
generation.
That's
I know,
rude.
but
No, you gotta be
it's
the
just,
other dude. No, you gotta be the other dude with the visor. Yeah, because they look at you right now. Yeah. Anyhow, so they buy Fitbit because they need to get this Wear OS thing going. They're sitting there looking at what's happening with Apple, looking at what's happening with the Apple Watch. They don't really have a play. And Google increasingly investing in hardware with the Pixel product. They're putting the commercials on TV. They're trying to flip users, bring them over with the fancy marketing and the shapes moving around and the primary colors as you would if you were Google. So now they come to this realization, I presume, internally, that the real killer functionality for the wearable is actually fitness more than anything else. And I agree with them, by the way. All these other things the watch does, your phone does better, except for fitness. Fitness, there's no argument. You got the heart rate, you got the activity tracking, you can have it on you during a multitude of activities where having your phone might not be great. The notifications on the wrist, I got enough of that already. But the fitness and the sleep tracking and the health, that's the functionality. And so with a brand like Fitbit, which has positioned itself even in the brand name with the fit component, I think this is a good acquisition for Google.
not to mention all the data that Google is going to get from Fitbit, right?
Yeah, Fitbit had to actually make a statement. Your stuff is still cool. We're very private. Because a lot of people probably had the same assumption you just did, which was Google's a data company.
Big data.
Big data.
Yeah.
Is it data or data? Which one are you?
I call data.
All right, I like
Your
that.
data?
I like that.
I'm data.
Google has announced that it's buying wearable company Fitbit for $2.1 billion in a blog post. Google SVP of Devices and Services, Rick Osterloh, he jumps on stage for the Pixel events. He shows you around. He tells you what they're working on. That's him. He said the Fitbit purchase is an opportunity to invest even more in Wear OS. So he had to say that because that means, look, we're not giving up on Wear OS. If you're sitting out there with a Wear OS device or you're developing software for Wear OS, it's not over yet. He's saying even more in Wear OS, as well as introducing made by Google wearable devices into the market. So these Fitbit devices are now going to have some sort of made by Google badge like the Nest products do, and presumably will maybe even better software integration with Android devices. You could imagine. Maybe it can open up certain pathways that weren't otherwise easily accessible. And that's one area that Apple does very well. We talked about it many times. The ecosystem. You pop open the watch, it's a very magical experience connecting to your phone and connecting all your stuff. So maybe Fitbit now, you can have a similar type of experience with Android. I think Fitbit has a recognizable brand name. They were early players in the space. I think people feel relatively fondly about it. They got their own social thing happening. They have a variety of products, not just trackers. They have a scale. I have that scale at home, actually. The Fitbit Aria Smart Scale, which is pretty cool. It all interacts with the app. I think it's pretty exciting. I don't know the 2.1 billion. Prior to the acquisition, the stock was surging, Fitbit stock. So Wall Street seems to be into it. They like it. And now we're probably going to see some Wear OS component inside of your Fitbit. What do you think, Will?
Right on.
All right. Do I trust Google? Do I have a choice? Do we have a choice? Kirk says, by the way, don't yell and scream, okay? You're saying, where's Kirk's microphone? Kirk's he's doing a pitch for a microphone right now, this episode. Ever since he got the title with the visor in Star Trek, he's fighting for a mic. So Will's going to think about it, but Will's been against it up until this point. But anyway, Kirk's over there shouting whether or not I trust Google with my data. Yeah, we just found Kirk right now. There he is. Yeah, LaForge, baby. We can get you one of those visors. Anyway, Kirk asked me if I would trust Google with all this data. Dude, my health data is far more tantalizing than all the stuff Google already has with all the various activity and mail and everything else. Health is not the piece that's going to throw it off. If you're already trusting them with your email, which most people are, or at least a lot of people are, I think the health switch or knob is actually an easy one to push. And we're increasingly in this universe in which you'd have to extract yourself pretty severely to get away from the Google data machine. Imagine you tried to, I think it was a New York Times reporter, maybe Wired, tried to get away from all the big tech companies and say, live a month without Google, Apple, Facebook. Maybe there was one other, Amazon. I can't remember. And it was treacherous. This individual barely made it out alive. I might be exaggerating, but it was a rough time nonetheless. So